About a month ago, I wanted to buy a used copy of a Mario Party game from eBay to play with my family and friends. This proved to be very difficult, since I not only limited myself to a specific price, but also to a specific console. I personally focused on the Wii and Gamecube titles, and I was actually really close to getting a Mario Party 5 copy, but someone overtook me at the last possible time. Frustrated, I decided to try my luck with Mario Party 8, which I was not looking forward to because of different reviews which didn't quite praise the game. But I gave it a fair try. I got the game, I booted it up, and I had a blast. Mario Party 8 is just a lot of fun. There are 6 great boards, tons of game modes, and the gameplay is just straight up brilliant. But why did all of the reviews bring this game down? What about it led people to believe that this is the worst classic Mario Party of all time? So I sat down trying to answer these questions, and I think I have a theory about this. So today I'll present my theory to you, and I'm also going the extra mile and tell you 3 arguments why Mario Party 8 is not the worst Mario Party made by Hudson Soft. So with that, let's start this up. The 3D Mario series probably has the most different games of any franchise. Almost every 3D Mario game has a lot of differences compared to its predecessors and sequels. At first, we are running around on a giant beach, but only seconds later, we race a giant penguin down a frosty slide. Then we suddenly explore Peach's castle and everything it has to offer outside. After that, we find ourselves riding on Plessy trying to find objectives on several islands. But even later, we found us jumping from planetoid to planetoid in space and toying around with crazy gravity gimmicks. The direction of the series just changes frequently, and most of the time, it's not really possible to predict what the next 3D Mario game will be. So, if we want to compare these games, we end up in an awkward situation. Since all of these games play differently, have different worlds, and much more, we would obviously end up talking about big things like the gameplay. Let's do a quick thought experiment to show this. So, let's pretend that I'm comparing Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario Galaxy in a video. What would I talk about in that video? Well, I would probably talk about which game has the better controls, the more interesting levels, the better music, and so on. Yet if I would compare Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2, then the video would suddenly be very different, since the controls, music, power-ups, etc. are roughly the same. I'd probably end up talking about the presentation, the objectives, and maybe even the tutorial. I will talk about this really frustrating mission in Galaxy 1, where you have to grab 100 purple coins using these blue star thingies with very little time. I tell you how many tries it took me to beat this. So, you people would watch my review and see me talk about this incredibly frustrating star. Which game do you think they would buy after watching my imaginative review on YouTube? They would buy Super Mario Galaxy 2, since apparently, according to my review, there are no objectives like this in the sequel. Something which is definitely not true, by the way. Anyway, with this one objective, I basically overshadowed Mario Galaxy 1. I discouraged people from buying it simply because of this one star I talked about. And that is definitely not fair, because Mario Galaxy 1 is a lovely game. But the people just automatically think Mario Galaxy 2 is more fun because I didn't mention anything in that regard. And this is exactly what happened to Mario Party 8. See, there are a lot of Mario Party games which all work in the exact same way. In all of these games, we have to get stars by collecting coins and trading them. In all of these games, we travel around the board using dice blocks, and we always play a minigame after everyone rolled. There's a total of 3 games on the Nintendo 64, 4 games on the GameCube, and 1 game for the Wii. If you also include the DS game, which was published after Mario Party 8, then we have 9 games which all play the same way. So, when comparing these games, small things are pretty much the only things which are mentioned in the comparison. And in that case, Mario Party 8 isn't really that great. Mario Party 8 doesn't have a story mode like the other titles. The modes we do have are pretty basic. The boards are sometimes linear, which removes a lot of the strategy that you usually have. There isn't even a minigame island in this Mario Party, and so on. But if we take a closer look at this game, we'll see that it has a lot of fun ideas. While the linear boards don't have as much strategy as normal, it can be added using the incredibly competitive and powerful candies. And even though there isn't a minigame island and the story mode is lost in time, there are a lot of new concepts Nintendo and Hudson Soft tried out. In my opinion, the game modes and concepts shouldn't always follow the same blueprint, and I really enjoy what they were doing with Mario Party 8. I personally believe that people who made reviews on this game simply called it the worst classic Mario Party, but that's definitely not fair. So that is the first strike against the argument that Mario Party 8 is the worst classic Mario Party. Mario Party 8 is being overshadowed just because it features different mechanics and game modes than the other titles. So, without further ado, let's move on to reason 2. I know we literally just talked about Mario Galaxy 1 and Mario Galaxy 2 a bit, but it is time to investigate it further for reason 2. Super Mario Galaxy is a fascinating game. It features tons and tons of gravity gimmicks, crazy levels, a wide range of power-ups, very good music, and much more. But what is the most interesting thing about this little gem, in my opinion, is that every objective and every level feels different from one each other. Even though we might explore a stage which has a similar layout to another one, all of them feel very unique. First, we explore a giant and open place themed around the honey hive. Just a bit later, we find ourselves traveling on a linear path trying to take down a battle rock. Seconds later, we explore a sandy desert trying to find a star, and then we platform on top of spinning cookies. Super Mario Galaxy, as well as its sequel, just toyed around with tons and tons of different ideas. They focused on the levels instead of Mario's movement, like Sunshine and 64. And I believe that this was the right call. Super Mario Galaxy 1 got the Metacritic score of 97, and many fans of the 3D Mario franchise consider this game to be the best entry in the 3D Mario series. The tactic that Super Mario Galaxy used for its levels is something I would like to call the blueprint shredder technique. Basically, the developers of Mario Galaxy did not copy the one stage they designed and then used it multiple times with just some slight changes. They did the opposite. Once one stage was fully programmed into the game, they basically shredded that concept in a shredder and started new from the beginning. I honestly can't imagine how that would work otherwise. Anyway, so Super Mario Galaxy has a lot of variation in the different levels and the gameplay. And in a certain way, parts of this blueprint shredder technique carried over to Mario Party 8. See, the 6 game boards that are available are not even close to being the same. All of them feature unique settings, different playstyles, and a lot of variation. Let's quickly go through the boards to show this. So DK's DK's Treetop Temple is basically the closest you'll get to a classic Mario Party board. But here, they actually try out a really interesting 2.5D art style instead of just a normal board. Goomba's Booty Boardwalk, on the other hand, is a very linear-based board, with the objective being to simply reach Pirate Goomba at the end of the boardwalk. What's interesting is that you can take shortcuts, which adds a bit of strategy to this one. King Boo's Haunted Hideaway plays like a normal 3D board, but the board is split up into lots of rooms, and whenever someone gets a star from King Boo, the layout of the map is changed. Theoretically, this can be a bit frustrating since there's pitfalls which you can fall down to, but there are lots of well-implemented mechanics which make this board still a lot of fun. Shy Guy's Perplex Express is once again linear, because last time I checked, that's how trains work, I believe. Anyway, this is a very creative scenario because you can not only go on top of the train, but it also features a lot of interesting happening spaces which make it quite unique. The next board is a fan favorite, Koopa's Tycoon Town. For those of you that are unfamiliar, it's basically Monopoly, but in Mario Party. You have to invest coins into different hotels. When you invest enough coins, you become the owner and get all the stars that the building is worth. This can be very tricky and hectic, since you can level up your hotels at a certain point. And it has a lot of strategy to it, obviously. And the last board in this Mario Party is Bowser's Warped Orbit. On this map, you can't buy stars like you usually do. Instead, you have to steal them from other players using the Bullet Bill and Bowser candies. This is very strategy heavy, since you have to pick between the two. The Bullet Bill candy lets you roll 3 dice blocks, but you can only steal 1 star per player, while the Bowser candy allows you to steal 2 stars, but only lets you roll 2 dice blocks. Did you notice it? All of these boards were created using the blueprint shredder technique. We design one board and its play style, and then we throw them into the bin once they're programmed in for the next board. Obviously, not all levels that were designed using this approach are gonna be fun, but the ideas for the boards are so varied that Shy Guy's Perplex Express and Koopa's Tycoon Town, maybe somewhere deep down in me, are my favorite Mario Party boards of all time, even though these boards only slightly play like actual Mario Party does. So here we have my second reason why Mario Party 8 is not the worst classic Mario Party. Mario Party 8 tried out a lot of different new ideas for its boards. Some of them may not have turned out that great, but at least it was something new. Alright, so with that, let's move on to the third and final reason of this video. At the beginning, I stated that it took me a long time to actually get a Mario Party from eBay, and that the only game I ended up getting was Mario Party 8. Well, as it turns out, I sadly lied to you by accident. I did actually get another game, Mario Party 4. So, how did this happen? Well, as it turns out, I got this game after I received Mario Party 8. Since I was trying to desperately get a Mario Party game, I also invested in Mario Party 4 and won. So later I received the game, placed it into my Wii CD slot, and I'm really sorry of what I'm about to say, but I think I got really lucky that this was not my first Mario Party game. So, look, I know that some of you probably want to smash the dislike button pretty badly, but please hear me out for just a second. I really gave this game a fair chance for this video in order to make sure that I don't talk about stuff which isn't true about a fan favorite game, but I just couldn't get used to it. There are multiple problems in this game which I want to talk about. Don't get me wrong, Mario Party 4 is definitely a very good game, but it has its issues that Mario Party 8 just doesn't have. The first problem is the setting. So this game was the first game released after the free Mario parties on the Nintendo 64. In those free titles, due to the limited hardware, they had to rely on 2D drawings with just a few things being actual 3D models. This means that the boards are completely flat, but the background blends in so flawlessly that every board feels unique. However, this would probably look a bit dumb on the GameCube with its improved graphics. So Hudson Soft decided to actually work with models for the boards. This means that they were able to create actual elevation, much more variation than the first three games, and many more themes. So let's go through the boards to see how they use this, shall we? So first, we have a gray floating platform over a beach background. We have the floating boardwalk above a toy-themed background. A gray model containing all the spaces placed over a ghost-themed background, and so on. As you can see, they didn't update the formula from Mario Party 3, 1 and 2. The boards are basically set up in the same way as they were in the N64 titles. The spaces are happily floating above a background. Yet in the N64 titles, this was acceptable, since the background highlighted the path and often tied the spaces together without many issues. But in Mario Party 4, this is not the case. The spaces are placed on a 3D model, which is far away from the background. And sadly, that causes a couple of bad things. First, this model with the spaces is, I don't know, but it's just really ugly. Like the rather lifeless gray with the green blinking lights surrounding it would have probably only fit in a computer themed board, which doesn't really exist up until this day. I mean, it's just so weird to look at a colorful toy box right onto this gray and ugly platform. Second, it makes the boards feel way too similar, since they all have pretty much the same spaces, just in a different order. And worse, there aren't really many gameplay variants to make up for it. But the biggest problem about this game, at least in my opinion, is that everything takes forever. Seriously, this game just moves at a horrible slow speed. Hitting the dice is slow, moving around the board is slow, doing a small minigame on the board is slow, and so on. All of this adds up and makes the game much less accessible, in my opinion. Let's say I would want to play one of these games with my family, which never happened before. In Mario Party 8, it would rather be fun, since everything is so fast-paced. It really feels like this hectic and unpredictable game, which might as well be what defines Mario Party in the first place. But in Mario Party 4, it would probably feel very boring to them, since the game time is stretched out just like chewing gum for no reason. And I think that this game loses some of its magic and hecticness just because it is so slow. Don't get me wrong, I think Mario Party 4 is still a very well-made game, and I think you could say that about all the classic Mario Party games. The point that I'm trying to make here is that Mario Party 4 just has problems which Mario Party 8 does not have, yet people still place Mario Party 4 over that one. I think that if I would ever play through all the Mario Party games in the series and make a tier list or put them into a ranking, I would still prefer Mario Party 8 over Party 4. So, here we have our third and last reason. Mario Party 4, a fan favorite, is much more appreciated by the community, even though it has problems which Mario Party 8 doesn't have. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Getting everything together was a ton of work and it took me way longer than I thought. So that is why I took it a bit slower over the past couple of weeks. But I'll promise that I'll post more content soon, right after this video. So, if you enjoyed, consider subscribing. It's free, it takes a second for you, and it helps me out a lot. And with that said, thank you for watching, and until next time.